So I'm still brainstorming tattoo ideas. I want to finish. I want to put stuff below my Death Stranding one to the where my wrist meets my hand. And I know I want Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell, sort of like a mixed version of her, sort of like different series movie. Just basically, I know I want the hair to be like kind of like with the bird wings, how it comes down right there and everything, like all of them. It's all gonna be black. I just want black ink for all my tattoos, just fine line black ink, everything. But I'm considering, instead of doing the Stranger Things L tattoo, I'm considering getting H.P. Lovecraft holding a jack-o'-lantern. Or just his face. Maybe just his face looking forward. But I was considering having like full body, just standing, standing looking forward, holding a jack-o'-lantern in his hands. Just like, hold on. Just like holding it like this, or holding it like, just like holding a jack-o'-lantern in his hands. I thought that would be pretty cool. A cool idea. I mean, I love the cozy, spooky times. I love that time of year. It's my favorite time of year. H.P. Lovecraft, I love his worlds ever since I got that collection a few years ago. I've taken a long break. I got to his longest story. I've read about half of his short stories. And so half of a book that's like probably like that thick, maybe a little thinner. And it's been awesome. I need to get back to it. There's a lot of stuff I like to do though, and I'm trying to work a lot right now too, but I think I might get back to that because like just like all the stuff, just the underwater like underwater stuff, subterranean stuff, the ruins, the temples, everything is right up my alley. He always talks about purple stuff, which is awesome. It's my favorite color. And like just the different like all the dream stuff and the deities and just like so much of it is so good. And it's not, I don't even consider any of it scary. It's just spooky and it's moody. It's just such a good, it puts you in a good place. Just like, oh, it's so enthralling, interesting, just like really, you can really see what he's trying to depict and everything, and it's great. It's so good. Again, I mean, I realize he was like afraid of other races. He was a racist dick back then. A lot of people were back in the 19th or 20th century, 19th century though, mostly 20th, because he was born in the 19th century, but early 20th century is when he was in his 20s, and I think he died in his 40s. I'm pretty sure, something like that. And I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember reading that, like, I guess he was only racist like in his 20s. Like once he got into his later years, apparently he would like actually, he learned that, you know, the right thing to do is to accept all sorts of people. I may be wrong. I hope that he learned things over time. Like not everybody outside your race is like some terrible person or anything. Like I'm hoping he got that through his head eventually. Other than that, because there is some not a lot. Every once in a while, there will be something in one of his stories where he talks. Like, there's one where he talks about. He's mentioned like different types of races and stuff, and it's always just cringe. It's like the only negative thing about it. It's kind. Sometimes it's funny, just because like the thing he said. It's just like, this is so ridiculous. What is he saying? So you can kind of laugh at it, like looking back retrospectively and everything. But it's just like, it's unfortunate. But I think he did. Like, I'm pretty sure. I hope that he, you know, came to his senses and wasn't racist in his later years. I think just when he was younger, he had some. I know he lived in like, when he moved to New York from New England, he like was very overwhelmed with like immigrants and stuff and everything. Like he just wasn't. Back then, he was just like afraid. I think he was like more xenophobic than racist. I think he was afraid of like. He was just a very neurotic person, and I think that bothered him, that there were so many languages being spoken, stuff. Like, I can't relate. I'm not like that. I'm not trying to, like, give him excuses. I'm just trying to, like, think in that way. But, I do not feel that way. I am not scared of other races or, hateful or anything. But I just like, and that it's again, it's the only drawback to his works. Like, and it's not there. It's not like every story has something like that. It's just sort of like sprinkled here and there. Like sometimes there will be something where he just talks about a certain person, and it's obvious he makes it like a conniving, like mischievous enemy or something, and it's like it just talks about the skin color or the how his eyes look or whatever. It's just like, oh, come on, man, that is so obnoxious. But again, different times. There was a time. I mean, come on, the founding fathers thought slavery was okay and shit. So I mean, we've made improvements, great improvements, and I'm grateful for that. And there were times where people just thought that, like, people not like them were wrong. I guess even in tribes, like, there would be a different tribe, and it's like, oh, a different tribe, we have to, like, we have to protect ourselves from them and everything. That sort of Neanderthal, like, weird. I don't know if that's a word, but that weirdness. I got too far into that. I spoke about that too long. But, dude, the stories, like, the worlds, again, madness, dreams, cosmic funk, all that trippy, awesome stuff. His worlds are just so awesome, so great to read. And it's awesome because you can read one of his stories like super quickly. Sometimes you read one in an hour, probably some of them a half hour. This longer one it took me longer than that, and I was going through it, like, I sat like a few days reading a little bit here and there. I usually sit down to read just, with his stuff, I'll sit down to read, like, for an hour or two. I don't get, like, super enveloped, just, like, soaking it in for, like, the whole day or anything. I usually don't read like that anyway. I usually like to take breaks, but, anyway, I definitely recommend him to anyone who likes horror. He's one of the most well-renowned, revered horror authors. And again, it's not really scary. It's just the worlds are so... It's just awesome. All that old, like, trippy, spooky, just great. He loves to talk about different architecture, and I learned new architecture words from it, and I love that. Just talking about... He'll just detailed say what the place looks like, talking about was like bas reliefs and different things, and different arches and cool, just really cool things made of different materials and everything. It's really cool. Anyway, I love you all. Have good times. Take care of yourself when you're able to.